One art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! One shot for the kill, the breeze cut, freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking, taking over pieces and shares. A bomb break sky high, check the movement is here, yeah. It's one heart, one shot, now the future is yours, go! Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the bars in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best, yes. Painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the cover with the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is our teacher under pressure, now we blessed. See, I was so good for the go. There's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah. It's one art, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Well, good evening, Kyle.
What's going on, Paul?
Yeah, not too much. My back feels pretty good for having surgery on Thursday, so I will say that much.
That's good. That's good. It's good. I feel like your mic is quiet, but that might just be because our intro's loud.
Maybe. Actually, my mic does look quiet.
Yeah, you should probably pop that up a little bit.
You know, you should have told this to me earlier. What the world?
I didn't notice it.
It looks normal now, right? Sounds normal.
Yeah, I feel like it's loud enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good evening, sir.
Yeah.
How's your Christmas week going?
It's been a long couple of weeks. Been very busy with lots of stuff.
Well, clearly, you haven't posted a video in a month. Come on.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks.
It's
going to be a month soon. I got a lot of stuff filmed. I got a lot of stuff edited. I just have to finish it, and holiday stuff and work and everything's kind of getting in the way. So it's coming. It's coming.
Uh-huh.
But that's part of being on YouTube. You know, you just sometimes you miss some videos.
You know, and that's one thing we could definitely discuss tonight is there's just some times where for the sanity of yourself, trying to juggle a 9 to 5 and all that stuff, you just gotta sometimes just not post for a week. YouTube doesn't, the algorithm I don't think likes that very much, but I guess for you your last video is just booming right now, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, it's weird how some videos just go and some don't, and the ones you really want to have be successful sometimes get no views, and then you post something that's boring and you think no one's gonna watch it, and then it's one of your most watched videos. It's kind of how YouTube works. It's weird. You never know what's coming around with each video. So,
and every creator is different because you know you make a pretty decent amount of money off affiliate links, and I'm not quite there yet. You know, so
luckily I had one video that worked out well.
What's that?
Luckily I had one video that worked really well. It was an accessory video from like a year ago, and it just keeps going. I can't believe it, but
hey, you know, do what you gotta do. But yeah, the YouTube world has been interesting. How long have you been doing it?
Well, I mean, I had a travel channel with my wife back 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
and then I've been on my channel now for about a year or so. A little over a year actually.
A little over a year.
I started this specific channel like in October 2020. Does that sound right? No,
yeah.
2019. Yeah, 2020. Yep.
Yeah. It was 2020. making all those, charging walls and all that stuff,
Yep.
during the pandemic,
When you first start a YouTube channel, you're kind of having to dig for content, and you can't always have the most brand new item that's on coming out. And I mean, you can if you want to blow all your money and buy
by
every brand new
yourself.
thing. But a lot of times when you start channels, you just it depends on what you're starting, I guess. If you're starting a channel that's like a tech channel or gear channel, you're definitely going to have to review what you have
Correct.
or review what you get. If you're buying something new, you're doing a video on it because that's what you have to stay relevant. And just because something's not new doesn't mean it's not going to be a relevant video. And that's something that I've noticed with my channel. I've sometimes put out videos way late, and I had like that Weeble S video I did that a year after it came out, and it kind of shot up to like a number 3 ranked video at a time. So you never know what it's going to be, but obviously you have to do something, so that you have to start somewhere and
Right. Exactly.
starting with whatever you can do. And sometimes I know back when we were both of us were kind of growing our channel, you had some links, some connections to some Amazon sellers, and they wanted to give you products for reviews. And normally that's, some people don't like to take freebies as the payment, but I mean, when you're a growing channel, like, send me all the free stuff. I need stuff. I need
Right.
to build out my collection to help, build the channel. And so sometimes getting those free things were nice, and doing those videos.
Well, I mean, sometimes too, you look at those and you're like, well, I would actually wouldn't mind buying that myself. So sure, yeah, I'll take
Yep.
it.
Yep.
I if it was something stupid or something I didn't think would be even any worth my time, I just ignored those emails. But
Yeah.
yeah, if there was like an Amazon review that was like, wow, that looks pretty decent, I'll take it.
Mhm.
And then
Well,
sometimes
I mean, like, all my, like, colored lights in this room, and I think same with yours, all your LED, like, RGBs, those were kind of all Amazon reviews. And they, now you have them, and now, I mean, you were gonna buy them regardless. So sometimes that's a good way to kinda get there, but you have to kinda get to the point where you get viewed by those people too. So, yeah, starting YouTube channel, you just have to kinda start with what you wanna do and just go with what you have. And but like I said, it kinda really depends on what kind of channel you're trying to start on YouTube. So
exactly, and there's so many different things you could do on YouTube. I mean, there's just so many different things, and a lot of things that probably are more would be even more successful than like a check channel or a camera channel. A
right.
lot of people are joining this niche, and there's a lot of crowded people, and you kind of really got to stand out. I feel like right now, or you just it's just I don't know it's hard, but I'm like me, I'm doing it because this is what I like. So you got to make sure in order to survive in the YouTube world, you got to make sure you're doing content that you actually enjoy doing, not because you're trying to seek popularity. I mean, if that's
Yeah.
you can have that as one of your goals to continue to grow and get you know a larger channel, but I don't think it should be your end game, so to
Mhm.
speak. You gotta, in order to keep in this game, you gotta really enjoy it, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're like some brilliant mind like, Mr. Beast, if you're trying to get big or trying to get successful with it, you're probably not going to, unless I mean, like, you have to put in the work. That's YouTube is a very challenging thing starting out, and you do have to be used to rejection and used to not having any views on your videos. And um,
And you gotta
then
keep just
yeah,
producing,
yep,
producing and producing, because you keep learning and hopefully getting better each time you make a video. I mean, I know for me, for sure, each video I get it gets a little bit better, or I get a little bit better at editing, or I get a little bit
mhm,
better at, getting my camera settings just right for the videos or whatever. Rebel Hikes, man, great to see you. I remember, I saw you in Jake Sloan's, live stream. He lives supposedly near me. Where are you from in Florida? Let me know in the comments. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely uh, a work. You got to just keep working at
mhm,
it. And for me, I feel like it's not work. I feel like it's like when I get to go out and make a YouTube video, I'm like, woohoo! I'm excited to do it. I mean, it is work still, and you gotta.
right,
It's. I would say it's hard to start filming and shoot everything you need for a decent quality video, and then make it all the way through, right? Because when there are so many times where we've shot everything for our videos, and we either sit on the footage for way too long, or we start editing it and we don't finish it, or we just like get tired of it and ends up being either getting
Mhm.
scrapped or we just kind of forget about it and leave it by the wayside,
Right.
like Disney
Yeah,
or
it's
something like that, you know.
I mean, who would do that? No, for me too, like so coming from a second channel, I already kind of had a lot of I mean, I was trying to do travel stuff and I decided I liked gear. And that goes back with music instruments, recording studio, skateboards, cars. I mean, you name
Right.
it. I just love aftermarket and gear. And so like I gravitated pretty quickly to the, wanting to buy new cameras, new lenses, and all this stuff, and really how they all worked. And I'm gonna bring up my ISO just one notch here. Um, so like I wanted to start this channel, and kind of coming from a second channel, I had a little bit of that I need to be better platform
Right.
mentality. So I was like, I'm gonna start, but I want to be like I feel like I know how to be successful on YouTube if I start the way I should. And I waited like 3 months while I was doing that to try to get everything right and all my stuff and my equipment, and I was waiting for a few things to come in that I bought new so I could do reviews on them. And I kind of wasted 3 months of my YouTube, career starting out because I was like putting myself up too high on that pedestal of like I need my videos to match like, Donna's videos. I want it to look like
Right.
that. And my first few videos do kind of have that platform of where they kind of fit into those other videos, maybe a little bit. I'm probably a little weird on camera, but as far as the quality, I felt like that's where I wanted to be. And I waited like 3 months. Now it's kind of one of those weird things where those first two videos actually are kind of some of my more popular videos, which weirdly doesn't happen ever.
Right.
But there's really no best way to start YouTube, but it's definitely if you have an idea and you want to start doing it, like do whatever it takes to get it to that first video and just get it done.
Yes.
Because usually your video is going to suck and it's not going to do well. No one's going to watch it unless you send it to a million people. And
And I mean, it took a long. I mean, even you with quality, you know, I feel like your first few videos were even really good quality. Um, it still took you a little bit of time even to hit that 100 subscriber, even though you hit
Mhm.
that 100 subscriber mark way faster than I did. But I think it still took a little bit. It takes a time to grow that first initial 100, and then of course
Mhm.
the road to 1,000 is after that is really hard as well.
I thought the
Um,
100 was almost harder because it's just that's like when you're putting videos out into the world, you're putting it out to nothing. The algorithm is
right,
not even going to look at you until you have over 100. Usually, the algorithm doesn't even look at you until you have 30 videos. But it's just you're hoping on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook that your friends or someone's going to start watching it enough to
right,
where it might get some traction. But for me, I think what really helped is that I picked up that ZV-1
yeah,
like right away when I started this channel, and my second video was like microphones for that camera, and like immediately somehow no one had that video yet because it was such a new camera, but I have all these microphones, so I was like, well, I'm going to do a video on this best mic for that camera, and like right away that video like trended, so it like went to like number one or two, and that's kind of what helps push those first few videos to a successful spot, which is very uncommon. But I mean, that is also a thing that you want to do on YouTube if you can, is to ride those trends. So like if something is new or if you don't see videos out there on it, maybe either A, the videos aren't needed, or maybe they do need someone to make one and it could be you
right,
and that
exactly,
video does well. Um, so I've had a couple videos like that where you thought videos that weren't going to do well, all of a sudden they caught a trend, maybe even later, and they got successful. So that's my thing. Like that's why I say like it doesn't matter how old the product is, even if you're doing a review. Like I did a lens review on a lens that was 4 years old on that zoom lens down in Mexico.
right,
But now that the ZV-E10 is out, that lens video is being searched like crazy right
right.
now
People,
because
yeah,
people are buying that new camera and they want a new lens for the best lens they can get for the ZV-E10, which just so happens to be that lens, I feel like. So it's that video is kind of like resurging again. So that's the cool thing with YouTube is your videos don't just die. They sit there forever and they constantly get traffic or don't get traffic. And so it's kind of an interesting thing how, like our mentality is you get the next video done and you kind of forget about the one before that.
right.
and I feel like you kind of have to be like the memory of a goldfish to be on YouTube to just constantly be moving forward to the next video. But yeah, if a video doesn't do good right away, it doesn't mean it's not going to do good later. So
Exactly. Yeah. Rebel Hikes, man. I'm curious. What kind of a shooter are you? What system do you shoot on? Do you shoot on Sony full frame, APS-C, Canon? What? I'm curious. What kind of shooter are you? It does, and that's another question that kind of pops up a lot of times too when people are trying to start YouTube is, does gear? Do I need to go out and wait till I have the perfect amount of gear to start? And no, I think you should start immediately with whatever you have, whether it's your handy dandy cell phone or whatever you have. I think the most important thing really is getting the best audio as you can. So if you're going to upgrade anything first, get a decent microphone and keep using your phone until you can afford to buy a nice camera. Or if you already have a nice camera, then use that and upgrade your audio first before
Right.
I don't know.
Audio is a huge thing, and people forget about that a lot. But so here's the thing that like I'll answer that. Like, yes, if you have a ton of money, just go out and buy whatever you want. Who cares? Like, I'm not going to tell you not to buy a Sony A7S3 or A7 IV. But unless you can like master a cell phone camera or a ZV-1 or a crop sensor camera, that camera is not going to do anything for you. Like, that's the thing about full frame cameras is like, just because you have the best one that's out there doesn't mean anything if you don't know how to use it. And there was times where I just constantly wanted to keep upgrading to the A7S3 or something, but I still never used like log footage or anything on this. I never mastered what I could do with the one below. And I would say that, if you got the money, who cares, and you want to upgrade, that's not my spot to not tell you to do it. But, many people make careers off of lesser gear. There's plenty of different
it's funny
channels
how
out
many
there.
people have been upgrading to like the Sony A7S3. I mean, we're complete gearheads, but there's channels that are still keep growing and are huge, way bigger, way many, some more, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and are still using A7 threes
Well,
and
a lot of people use this
A60 600s and all that stuff.
The A6400 is definitely a camera that a lot of people still use. I mean, even Chris and Becky still use this, even though I know they use other cameras with it now. But
Right.
they said a primary, like half the stuff on their channel is still shot with this camera. And
Yeah, they still it was part of their gear for that east heading east
Yep.
whole documentary. And you couldn't tell me when I couldn't tell you when they were using the A7S3 or the 6400. I mean, I don't
like
know.
for me, a big reason I wanted to eventually upgrade is because I was having some problems with overexposing on this camera outdoors a lot. I really did not appreciate not having good like focus in like 120 frames per second. Yeah, the 4K 120 frames per second in the A7 III is a huge upgrade as well. But even just like using the 1080 on the A7S III, having that like touch focus and eye focus while doing different frame rates was like primarily the reason I wanted that camera. And that's where I kind of hit the brick wall with this one. It was like, I want to make something that's a little bit better than this. But I mean, realistically, like I still use this for most of my talking head stuff. I've been
Right.
using the ZV-E10 and the A6400 for this live stream for the last 3 months. Today I'm using the A7S III for the first time, trying it out. So we'll see how that works. I'm well aware that my upload speed probably is bad at my house, so it's very possible this comes across looking terrible on your side, Paul. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I promise it's
I
not the
probably look a little
camera.
terrible too. My internet's not amazing, but
Plus, this restream that we're going through is only in 720 anyways, so
yeah, I'm too cheap to pay for more.
we will at some point. We will at some point.
One day.
But it's just like starting off with like you don't need the best stuff. Just start with what you have and like look at all the biggest channels out there. They've always started with what they had. Even if it's Casey Neistat or MKHB or whatever like it is, they just picked up a camera and they started. That's just how most people do it. So
Right, exactly.
if you have to wait to get the best gear, you're wasting time.
Yep. I mean, because you're going to continually get better even with lower end gear. And if you can make lower end gear look better, then, you're just going to continue growing your skill. that was my hesitation when I first started. I was like, oh, I gotta wait till I get a nice interchangeable lens camera, and then I got that interchangeable lens camera, and I held on to it for a year before I even started making content after that. So there's always going to be an excuse. So I don't just start. Everybody always says it, just start, but you gotta do it, So,
so Rebel Hikes had the RX 100 Mark 7. That's cool.
he has the Mark 7. Looks like he does a lot of hiking. Kind of really works well for him. Definitely a smaller camera for hiking. I feel like you'd want either APS-C.
It does good. I mean, I had the 1, I had the 3, and I had the 6. I had the 1 right before they put an audio jack on it, so I think that was the 6.
Yeah, the 6. The 7 is when they put the audio jack.
It was a good camera for vlogging. I think the ZV-1 video-wise maybe got better than that camera.
Well, when they put the
though?
ZV-1 out, I was like, wow, what do you need to buy the RX 100 Mark 7 for anymore? Because it's like almost double the price, and you don't have a flip out screen. You don't have all these little other nice little nuances that you get with the ZV-1. So I commended Sony for making the ZV-1 and really pricing it to be a nice little competitor, a true like starting good camera for any content creator. And I mean, a lot of content creators are using that ZV-1 for vlogging. I feel like everybody's going out. Peter Lindgren, Chris Brockhurst, Sidney DeYoung's uses one.
Terry Warfield.
Yeah, Terry Warfield. I mean, a lot of these good creators are using, and why? Because they know they can just pull it out of their pocket, get the shot they need, and put it back, and they don't have to worry about carrying around a humongous camera with a lens, and they still do at times, but they mix that footage in, and I can sometimes tell the ZV-1 when it's the ZV-1.
Yeah, well, most of those creators also use the A7S III, so like to me, you can tell, like and they always use like G Master lenses on all those too, so like you can tell the difference between the full frame quality and the ZV-1. But the ZV-1 fits in pretty well. It does pretty well. It's got a lot of cool features. The photography side is a little lacking. The RX 100 like shines there. That camera was great for photography. I always thought, and that's a camera that obviously just fit in your pocket too, which was nice. But but I mean, like that. These cameras are just proof that you can just quick up and start a channel and just go.
Exactly.
You don't need that. And
if you have good lighting with that thing, they look pretty darn good. If you're in a studio setting and you have all the right, lights on you, you're gonna still get a great image out of that. And Rebel Hike said something nice. He said it looks discreet compared to like an A7 or a, which is great. I mean, and another thing for people just starting out who are like really nervous about going out in public with a camera, or not that it makes that part of it easier, but people like look at you and like, oh, that guy's just like on a little point and shoot camera. But when you like start walking around with like a A7S III or a A7C, I mean, Kyle and I were out shooting in Minnesota, and like everybody, or even when we were at Disney, when he was down here, people stopping us like, hey, you must be a YouTuber. You have a big, like. Yeah.
Well, I was definitely there's some weird things with this. So like this is a very discreet camera, and you can just take this out. No one really cares. They're not going to look at you too much. Or they look at you and they're like, oh, look at that little fancy camera. when I was vlogging next to you and you had your big rig, the big setup, I felt a little like my masculinity was hit a little bit there. But it all depends. Like if you carry around the big A7S III on like a big Joby pod, like people look at you, they assume I think at this point they know what you're doing. They're just more curious about like what you're talking about. But yeah, you definitely get more noticed with stuff like that. Now hiking with those, that's when a lot of people have to start using those backpack capture, like what's the company called, Paul? Where you can clip the backpack or your camera on your backpack.
The Peak Design.
Peak Design. I always think of Small Rig or something, but yeah, a lot of people use Peak Design, like the classic hiking. If you want to watch what hiking with full frame cameras look like, just like Cody and Victoria's page.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They managed to just have 1 or 2 cameras, and that's all they do is they climb mountains and hike, and they manage just fine to carry around their cameras. It's more work, it's more effort for sure, but sometimes more effort shows in your footage. Classic example, when Paul and I were at Disney, we were doing a video where he was using the Sony full frame and I was using the ZV-1. And we were supposed to do kind of like, what's the best camera for Disney? And in my head, I'm thinking like, this camera's going to be way better at Disney because it's small. I can pocket it. It's going to be more user friendly. People are going to like probably use this more in the long run anyways, versus carrying around a big camera. And then I kind of realized that like your footage looked good, Paul.
Right.
When I got home, I started realizing when I had just this little camera, I wasn't really paying attention to filming. So my footage looked kind of bad. Like it was shaky. I wasn't really watching, and I don't know. I wasn't happy with it, and I didn't want to showcase. That's why that video never came out. I never wanted to showcase what this camera did on that, because I kind of felt like I should have paid more attention to filming. So I didn't want to showcase my flaw in using this camera. So
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. I mean, I'm talking Rebel Hikes here in the comments. You know, it's hard because there is a lot of things you need to purchase. You know, you got you can need royalty music for your videos, which you can get around that. There's a lot of sites that do free stuff. You need some sort of a computer, and depending on the camera you have, you need a fast computer, but you know, you need some sort of a computer to edit on. You need editing software to use. Well, good thing most people can get DaVinci Resolve. They need something to start off with for free, but you still need some sort of a computer to run that. You know, you need audio. There's so many things. It's a really expensive hobby, but you put the time, you slowly get there. You know, I just got to keep working on it. Everybody's skill level is going to be different. It's the same amount of work whether you are new to starting out or you're a professional videographer. It's the same amount of work to get to the end game, and each one of them will, you know, each different type of people will get there differently, just because of,
right.
You know, some people don't know how to do some of the work, so it's going to take them even more work to learn how. I don't know. It's a fun game, but I mean, I really enjoy it. And another great thing to do, and I, you know, I have had many people build me up over the years, but you know, finding a good accountability partner or somebody to talk to, you know, they don't have to be local. I mean, if it helps if they're local, but you know, like Kyle and I, we kind of text each other throughout the week, and hey, you making a video? Like, hey, are you making a video this week? Or, you know, hey, you know, kind of keep on top of each other, keep each other like making sure we're still doing something. I don't know, it really helps, and then it
definitely
motivates you.
networking.
What?
Yeah, definitely networking with other creators if you can is fun, whether it's just chatting on Twitter or phone or whatever. But it's really cool when you can like actually meet people in your area too that can help you film or help you do projects, or even if they're YouTubers, you can help them with their stuff. And it's nice to be able to collaborate if it's possible, because doing everything yourself is really challenging as a YouTuber. And I think a lot of people don't see that in videos, but like when I make a video, I'm like planning by myself, I'm traveling by myself, I'm filming by myself, I'm having to direct and compose and all that stuff by myself. You have to edit yourself, you have to pick your music yourself, you have to
Right.
market, you have to do thumbnails. I mean, you're wearing a ton of hats, and anytime you can have help from friends or something sharing those hats is a very nice thing to have. So
Right. Oh, you're good at graphics design. Well, I can help you with your intro or something. I don't know. I yeah, there's so much to YouTube to, you know, I want to redesign my look, but I'm going eventually.
Yeah, that's finding time in between stuff too. If you're trying to stay consistent and you're doing like weekly videos, you know, and when I first started, that was my goal, was I'm going to do a video every week. It definitely does get challenging. You do get to the point where you put 3 days off and you're like, now I got to film a video, I got to edit it, I got to get everything done. And then there's always that like 1 or 2 day ahead where you need to have something uploaded so that it has time to render. Like for me, when I upload a video, it gets to YouTube right away, but sometimes it takes a day to get to turn to 4K. Sometimes it's a half hour. I mean, it's weird how, I don't know if it's just like a busy like traffic on YouTube or something, but I've definitely uploaded stuff where I was going to post it in the morning and it still said it was in 1080. And you're like, well, I'm doing a video on the quality of a lens, so I can't showcase this in 1080. So sometimes you just need to buy those extra time. So if you're planning on doing weekly videos, you got to be on your game and being very motivated. So I mean, starting YouTube, even if you set a goal for every other week, I think that's a good way to start YouTube and
Yeah,
go from there.
you
And if
definitely need to have some sort of a consistent schedule, both for you to keep you accountable for it, but also for your audience. People that subscribe to you want to know that they can get regular content from you and know when to expect it. You know, it's kind of
Right.
like Disney would never put out a new Marvel series and just say, yeah, it's going to come out
Tomorrow.
next week. Yeah, and then we'll do a follow up episode, but you don't really know when it's going to happen. We might get it out in 2 weeks, maybe 3, but that series just wouldn't be successful. So,
Mhm.
you know, and it's hard because I haven't put out a video in a few weeks. I mean, I had back surgery and if you look at that video, I probably didn't post the video. You know, that was probably like week 2 of delay. I try to post one video a week, but right now I'm happy to get bi-weekly, but hopefully I'm going to get caught up with that in the next few weeks as I'm in back recovery. I don't go back to
Mhm.
work until like January 17th. So I'm thinking next week I might be feeling okay to at least start making my own videos again.
That's good.
The hard part is like Chelsea uses this office when she's working from home, and she's working from home all this week, and then I think next week she goes back to a few days a week. So
Hmm.
I'll have to like space it out when I can film in here, but it's good.
Mhm.
Maybe I just need to get out of the house, you know.
Yeah. For me, I work a normal I wouldn't say 9 to 5 job because it's always different hours, but I work a normal job at a pharmacy in a hospital, and I always have one weekend where I have to work every like fifth weekend, and that's always my hardest weekend to get YouTube done because I usually film videos on the weekend and then go edit them and have them out by Wednesday or Thursday. I think my channel, Paul, I think I still have to update my channel because I think it says I have videos every Wednesday,
It
which
does, because I was looking at
I
my banner, and I was thinking, because I was trying to look at yours and see. I want to redo my banner this year, and I was looking at it this week, and I was like, every Wednesday. I don't even think you stick to every Wednesday anymore. I think you just try to get it
no,
out once a week.
I switched to Thursdays at some point because for to be able to get something on a Wednesday, you really got to start shooting on like Thursday or Friday the previous week, so you have time to sit and edit and bring footage in and do your video. You always have to have time to like refilm something if you need to, or add B-roll, or but yeah, like I said, just that upload period where you have to wait till it turns to 4K if you're shooting 4K. And I figured Thursday was just a better day. I just haven't updated that thing. But for me, having that on my channel, on my banner at the top, it forced me for a very long time to be like, I got to get a video done. I got an SD card. Let's do a video on this SD card this week. I can do it. I can film it tonight. And then part of it is kind of like I don't want that set goal to make me put out a garbage video because I didn't think it was going to be a good video to put out
Right.
because I'm just rushing to do it. Although on the other hand, I did do a settings video on this camera once as a rushed project, and that's also got like 20,000
It's
plays on
funny
my
how that
video
works
channel.
sometimes,
So
right?
it could go either way, but it's just having that like period. I felt like until I finally missed that, that was like keeping me on weekly schedules. And then I
Real
missed it.
quick,
And then I
we'll
was
say
just kind of
goodbye to
like,
Rebel, man. Rebel,
yeah,
great. Thanks for hanging in out with us tonight. You're gonna save up for an A1. Look at that. That's like pure. Wow, that's some motivation right there. From a RX 100 to an A1, sparing no expense, just jumping right in fully there. You'll be able to do whatever you want with that A1. Holy cow, that's a great camera. My friend has one.
that's pretty cool. Can do video and stuff. I know. I feel like at this point, I'd almost go for the A7 IV just because.
I mean, if it was me, I'd want to buy, because you not only have to get an A1, save up for an A1, but then if you get the A1, you have no glass. You know, you need to get like one solid lens at
Yeah.
least. You know,
But
and what would
some
you
most
say? What would you say the one solid lens would be for full frame? If you had to tell somebody right now, I mean, I think I know what your answer is.
budget for budget, or I mean, you need a zoom. If you're gonna have one lens, you need something that can zoom wide and
Sigma
zoom in.
2470. We already know that. Okay.
Yeah, I would say either Tamron or Sigma 2470 because
But I will
it's just
that that 28 to 200 lens is a pretty good lens.
it's a good photography lens.
It's a pretty good photography lens. For video, it's
It's
annoying because it has the variable aperture.
Yeah,
If you can deal with
what
that.
I definitely what I did when I was in Colorado with it, and that video is coming out soon here. Um, I would put my I would go to like auto ISO, which I never do, and I would just do the exposure compensation to 1.7, so it like locks in that 1.7 because I'm shooting in a S-Log 3, so you need that plus 1.7, and then while you're zooming, the lens would just the ISO would just adjust accordingly. So hopefully it doesn't adjust to a point where it gets too grainy footage, but which can happen on the S-Log 3 for sure if it gets up too high. But that worked really well. But yeah, otherwise normally I always shoot with a fixed ISO, and when you turn that lens in, it just everything gets dark really quick because it goes from 2.8 to 5.6. So it's a cool lens. I liked it a lot.
16 and 35 GM, very good,
Yep.
very good. Pretty heavy, but I mean, I feel like if I had a 16 and 35, I could probably do 90% of everything that I like doing with a 16 and 35.
I feel like it's always like not zoomed in enough, but the second you have, this is what I've heard from every single person with that lens. Once you have it, it's your main lens. 100%. Like people will make do with 35.
Right.
And then they jump to an 85 or something like that as a prime lens. I mean, that's like Lindgren and Matty Apoya, everyone. They sit once you start using that 16, it's hard to like stop using it.
Yeah, I have the Tamron 17 to 28, but it's great for vlogging or wide content creation or sitting in front of a camera and talking. But once you start like shooting longer form content or weddings or some sort of B-roll or something that I feel like that's where I find it limiting. So that's when I got to take it off and put the like 28-75 on or something.
He mentioned the 24 to 105. That's a really cool lens. It's definitely not low light because it's an f4, but that lens is awesome because it's stabilized and it's only like $1,000, and it's got more reach than the 24-70, and I think it's a little bit lighter. I'm really curious about that lens. I've been wanting to try that one out for a while. I've had plenty of people who swear they're like, I don't want to go if it's not a 1.8. I'm gonna go with that one because some people just the 2.8 doesn't fascinate them enough.
Okay.
Entice them enough to like not use the f4 because that f4 lens is a better lens because it's stabilized.
Right.
And a lot of times if you're out in the sun, you're probably not using anything below an f4 anyways.
Unless you have like
with
serious filters or something.
Yeah, and even then I tend to not anyways. So, but that lens I've seen it in action and it looks really nice. So, but yeah, if you want to go in low light, then you're reaching for another lens, and then you have to have another one. So,
right. Well, yeah, a lot of decisions and there's so many options, and I don't think there's necessarily a wrong one. It's just really what personal preference you like. Getting that maybe 24 to 105 and like the 20 millimeter G lens would be probably a pretty sweet looking combo. You could probably do pretty much everything you need to do with those two lenses. I would assume, have a nice wide and then a nice wide to zoom. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, Rebel. I don't want to take up your time. Get your beauty rest and be a slave labor. Keep working hard for that A1. Wow, that's some aspiration right there. Brad Henderson, what's up, dude? Happy holidays to you too. Merry Christmas.
one sec, Paul.
What's that? Okay, 1 sec.
My AirPods are going out again.
AirPods going out again.
I'm
Failure.
just gonna turn off these monitors real quick.
Just don't turn it too loud. I'm thinking they're going to update it soon. Yeah, I think they're going to update the 24 to 70s as well very soon. Their old lenses. I'm surprised that Sony hasn't made like a new 50 millimeter yet prime, because the 51.8 is so loud and the autofocus isn't amazing, and it's so cheap. They could easily make like a same equivalent G lens of a 50 millimeter and it's like a 1.8 and just completely crush it with that lens, I feel like. But
so I missed like the first I missed the last like minute of anything you're talking about, but 50 millimeter, did they just 0.2?
Well, yeah, if you have $2,000 to drop from your pocket.
Okay,
but
so you're referring
I still think there's there's a market that they're kind of missing. Like the people that want a nice 50 millimeter, they don't necessarily want to go out and spend a $2,000 on the 1.2. But the 1.8 they have out right now is like $200, and it's all right. It's just the autofocus is a little loud, and it's not as good as it could be. What's up, Fly Zone? So I don't know. I feel like that's the one of the G lenses they should be coming out with soon is a 50 millimeter 1.8 G lens, like something that feels and is compact as like the 20 millimeter and it kind of has that same build quality and all that stuff. But I know I cut you off earlier, and I don't know if you even remember what you were talking about in the middle of that. But
my AirPods just kind of cut out on me there. I don't know what happened, but those things are not the most reliable things on the planet.
That's unfortunate.
I don't like wearing headphones because then I can never hear myself either. So, like when I first started this YouTube channel again too, I was going to go back to that a little bit. One of the things that I definitely did was I started a list of what I wanted to do for videos, and I just kind of sat down and was like, let me come up with as many ideas as I possibly can to kind of think like of what to do.
Right.
And now I'm having trouble finding them. But anyways, I made like a whole list of just everything that you could think of videos that you could do. And
and
when
you say that because I always make notes in my Apple Notes pad or voice memos if I get an idea really quickly on the road or something driving. Pull my phone up and kind of talk into it. You gotta keep making when you have ideas that pop up. You gotta write those down. Make sure you don't forget them, and then kind of go back and I don't know. Do it because sometimes we're really good at coming up with ideas and just writing them down, and then we never actually act on them, right?
Yep. Well, that's what it is. So I made this like list a long time ago. Of course, I just backed out of it.
I saw it. Yeah.
I made this list a while back, and this was like, oh, I got so many ideas of what I could do and all these things, and start a channel and do a studio build and talk about my
ideas
lights.
right here. Here's your chance.
And here's my ideas. And so basically it was like once I finished the video, I would cross it off. This would always give me an idea of like what to do because sometimes you get to a week and you're like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do a video on. And already having this in mind, then you can look at it and be like, oh yeah, let's do that. Or, oh, I can't do that because I need to be somewhere else to do something. Or, so it always gives you a thing. And apparently, like, I still have yet to do a Rode Wireless Go video. Original.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised. They were so generous and sent you one out, and then you.
Well, I did one for the second one. I just never did one for the first. But like the Sony 18-105 lens, I did that video. I haven't crossed it off, but having a list of like things that you want to accomplish or videos you want to do is a very good thing to do when you're starting a video or starting a channel. Is just sit down and get all of that in place so that you always have ideas, and sometimes those ideas will spawn new ideas and then having stuff too, like setting your goals. For YouTube, goals are kind of weird because like what are goals for YouTube? Like, is your goals
you can't
to grow
be like,
your
hey,
channel?
I'm gonna grow to 1,000 subs this year. Like, I think those are good goals to hope for, but I feel like those shouldn't be your main goals.
Right.
You need to make goals that are tangible. Like, I'm gonna make X amount of videos this year, or I'm gonna put out at least one video every 2 weeks, or what. Do something that's like physically tangible that you can try to keep yourself accountable for,
and do something that you can control.
Yes.
Because you can't control people subscribing to your channel. You can't control the amount of views you get unless you sit on your computer and like watch a million videos yourself. But and even then, YouTube knows your IP address, so it only lets you get like one view out of every video anyways. But like do things that are tangible too, like what you can physically do. And that's like staying on top of your channel. Like, can you change your artwork? Can you work on getting better music? Can you work on like getting weekly videos or twice a week videos? Like set some goals ahead of time for the year. And I wouldn't even just say starting, like I'm setting goals for next year at this point.
Well, I'm curious, what kind of goals do you have for next year?
I want to get back to weekly videos. I know that most people probably would say like two videos a week. Unfortunately, being a full-time employee elsewhere, like dedicating everything to YouTube just doesn't work. I would love to do 3 videos a week, and I feel like it'd be easy as can be if I could
Not do
not
anything
have
else?
to go work.
Right.
Although I'd also have the personality, or if I didn't have to go to work, I'd probably like wake up late, sit on the couch, watch TV, watch YouTube for 5 hours, whatever, and then eventually get to something. But because I
Well,
can go
it's
that way
funny that you
too.
say that because uh, if I wanted to, I could do 2 videos a week because I find that now I probably shouldn't be saying too much of this, but I have a lot of downtime at my work, and I do edit a lot of my content at work while I'm waiting. I'm an IT guy, so I work off tickets, and I'm pretty proactive. I make sure I do all my I spend, a few hours a day doing stuff to be proactive and get my stuff down. But for the most part, my job is pretty much waiting for problems to arise or waiting for kids to walk into my office. And so in those downtimes, I could be watching videos or doing whatever. And a lot of times I will edit my videos there. And and I have time that I could easily like slip into my side office and make a video for during my lunch break, or maybe come in a little bit early or stay a little bit late during the day and make those.
Mhm.
But I find a lot of time I end up wasting that time. Like you said, I go on and I'll just bench watch a ton of YouTube videos or something,
Right.
or I'll watch that new Marvel Disney streaming plus show that came out, and I find myself just making excuses for not actually creating content or
Mhm.
distracting myself. So I feel you there. Even though I'm
Yeah.
not in this, I'm like, yes, if I had a no 9 to 5 and I was only doing YouTube every week, I could get so many videos out. Well, I probably could do that now if I really worked hard and put the
Yeah.
hustle in. But
And
anyway,
that is YouTube. Like you do need to hustle. Like that's why it's like every person who's successful hustles like crazy to get there. Like they don't just get there. It might look like that because that might be what they wanted to show you on on their videos, but believe me, it's a lot of work and it's a lot of commitment. It doesn't have to be, but if you're trying to grow a big channel, that's what takes hard work and commitment. If you want to put videos out for you and put them out there to make whatever, like when we were doing the travel channel thing, I didn't really hustle to try to like get that to the millions of people to view it or anything like that. I my main goal with that channel was I want to record my traveling
right.
so that we can come back to and watch those, because there's so many times where you come back from vacation and like forget about stuff you did because you were just in the moment, and having that opportunity to be able to record it is really fun. So I didn't really care if people watched it or not. So like it's not always have to be a hustle, but it depends on what you're doing it for. But for me, yeah, for this year, my big goal is to try to get back to weekly videos. Don't let like not doing a weekly video like bug me too much, because I do want to be able to spend time with family and whatever, and have those mental breaks every now and then, because you do get to the point sometimes where it gets not fun and it gets to be like I have to do this, and it shows in your videos when you aren't having fun and when you just aren't enjoying it. And I don't want to get to that. And I've had a couple of videos in the past where I just wanted to get them done. I didn't care about them, and I just put them out, and they came off that way, and they didn't do well. Um,
I
Instead,
would
I
say
could have
this
just
to
taken a
add to
break.
that, if you're trying to stay consistent and you want to plan for the future and know that you're gonna probably have those weeks where you just don't feel like doing it, or you're not gonna have the time, or you want to spend that you're on vacation with the family. I think you're always gonna you might even have some weeks where I got 2 videos this week done, and it's for me, I know that the first instinct for me is I got to hit that upload button and get it up now, like right when I finish it I want to go and upload it, even if I just uploaded a video the day before or 2 days before that. It's sometimes it's okay to like try to stick to a schedule and batch these files or these videos, so that when you do have a week where you need to have off or whatever, you can easily just I
Right.
that video I recorded like a month ago that you know it's maybe wasn't super time relevant, right? Depending on what kind of video you recorded,
Yeah.
or you keep pushing your other videos back, whatever it is. You can throw in that one video for that one week, and I know I'm terrible at just I get the video recorded, I'm like, boom, uploaded, done. So
One big goal for me too is to try to, and I think I might actually go get a label maker, Paul, and put this on the back of my thing. This is something that Gene told me a while ago.
the thumbnail.
Was get a label maker and put thumbnail ? And put it on the back of your flip out screen or whatever your camera, or somewhere where it's not going to destroy your camera. Obviously, don't put something on your camera if it's not going to come off. But because I hate doing thumbnails, and I always forget about them until it's too late, especially when you do a video out and about. Like if you're doing a video on like a product that you're in studio for, it's really easy because you usually have the product already doing B-roll. You can just like, snap photos. But lighting and everything set up and doing pictures for like product photography is different. Like you're not putting key lights out the same way. You're usually putting overhead lights and backlighting and colored stuff, and you're trying to use perspective and different lenses. And so yeah, like for instance, this Colorado lens video I just did in Colorado, I forgot to take a thumbnail. And now I'm going to have to get clever with like using my photos, which I also didn't take in 16:9. So you have to start cropping your photos that are hard, and that usually doesn't work well. And you just have to get creative. And I did that in Mexico too with that ZV-1. And I think I took a drone shot and then I green screened like the ZV-1 sitting like on a tripod or whatever. And I put like my picture inside of the screen, and you get creative, but it's just like, sometimes you have to remember that like your thumbnails are your most important thing because it's what makes people want to click on them or not, the video.
Right. And I see so many creators too that they do multiple thumbnails, right, for these videos, so that when they have a video that's not performing maybe as well as they like, they just swap out the thumbnail with a different one they made and see if it's more successful in catching the eye of people. So
yeah, and if you are starting a channel on YouTube, or you already had a channel and it's not working well, or whatever the case may be, I even small creator, big creator, I would say take a look at things like TubeBuddy or Vid. What's the other one? Something. vidIQ. I personally use TubeBuddy, so I'm going to recommend that myself. I think for under 1,000 subscribers, it's like $4.95 a month.
Yeah, it's like a price of a coffee, pretty much.
Yeah, I still haven't paid more than $4.95 at this point because they haven't triggered that I went over 1,000 subscribers apparently. So I'm still paying $4.95, but even then I think it only goes up to $9 anyways. At first I was kind of thinking like, oh, is it going to be worth it? Should I even pay it? After like the first 2 videos, I was immediately like, I'm keeping this for the rest of my channel's life. Like,
and maybe you'll be lucky and they won't recognize you over
having something that having something that tells you if a keyword search is going to be good or not, especially basing it off of the videos already on your channel, is awesome. And also it just steps you through like, what's your keyword? Now what's a bunch of words you want to put in around your keywords? Here's what you should put as your first thing in the description. I'll make sure your first key or tag is this, which is from the title, and it's kind of like walks you through it. And then all of a sudden it like improves your, like I had videos that had like SEO scores of like 40, 30.
Right.
And with just like a couple tweaks, I was at like 100 or 95. And then the best part is when you get to the part where you're uploading your thumbnail, it knows to use that keyword search, and it'll show you all the videos that you would potentially be competing with, and it'll show you all their thumbnails. So you can immediately put your thumbnail in there and go, yeah, mine sucks. Mine looks like crap compared to this. So then you have a new goal, like, I need to be better than this. And sometimes I'll actually look at those first when I'm uploading before I do the thumbnail, because like while I'm uploading, I usually jump into my thumbnail.
Right.
So sometimes I'll look at that first just to see like, how good do I actually need to make this thumbnail to stand out?
How much time do I really need to spend on this stuff?
And I've spent hours on a thumbnail before, and I've spent minutes on a thumbnail before. So it's a really cool feature on TubeBuddy where you can immediately see all the other videos that you're trending against. And all you have to do sometimes is make your thumbnails look better than all of the rest of those, and you'll watch your video rise up on a trending video. And I've definitely switched out a couple thumbnails before, and I've had videos now that are like in first 1 or 2 rankings, and that does a lot for your video's traffic if you can get ranked. But usually you don't get ranked unless people click on your video, and that means you need to have a good thumbnail and a good title. And you need to have a search result that makes sense to Google. And that's what using TubeBuddy does, is that it puts the 3 different things that are in your video search wise, and it makes it makes it so that Google can understand what this video is. So
Right.
that when someone types something, boom, that's your video. And that's what having a good SEO score does. So if you're starting a channel, I would 100% recommend checking out TubeBuddy or vidIQ. And I think you can even do free trials for a month on those things. I
And
can't
they have
remember,
free
but
plugins at least that get you some of the features, but I
yeah,
think you can't get like the keywords, a lot of the
yeah.
features that you really, really want. I mean, just fork
Honestly,
out the
just
extra.
just spend the $5 and get that thing. That's like one of the best things I've ever did in my channel was get on something that helps you with search results. Now, if you're a channel that isn't like using search, like if you're like doing vlogs and stuff, you're not
Right.
necessarily going to need that because that stuff's not search based. A lot of times that's clickbait titles anyways. You're like, I can't believe this happened in whatever. And and
Yeah,
that's
those are hard channels to grow too. I commend people who try to do that. I mean,
yeah.
it's not impossible. You gotta just hope for a really banger video that just knocks off or something like that, and
Yeah.
then
Or if you're or if you're traveling or vlogging or something, you need to have something that just no one does. Like
right.
that's how places like Kara and Nate, their channel took off because they went to Everest, which people don't do normally. So, but yeah, it's I would say start with TubeBuddy, get a cheap, decent mic, like a Rode video mic or something that's good that you can afford. And you can plug those into cell phones, you can plug them into ZV-1s, you can plug them into full frame cinema cameras. Having good audio is going to be probably the second most important thing on your channel next to good video. And then good content. I mean, good content's number one, period.
Good
If you're,
content, good audio, and good
yeah,
video. Boom.
content number one, audio, video number 2 and 3.
Speaking about audio, oh yeah, K3M, man, the K3M.
You finally got that, huh?
Finally got it, and now I can use this NTG5 finally. So I'm really excited about that.
And people underestimate good audio on their channels. Today we were looking at, funny story. We made, I don't know if I should say this because there may be people who are watching that I might be giving these gifts to, but we made something for Christmas this year. I'm not going to say what because those people could be watching this later, and they didn't work out quite the right way, so we had to kind of fix them today. So we watched some YouTube videos, and we saw these. I would turn on these channels, and it would be like this one girl that had this like outstanding looking set, and everything's perfectly lit, and it's awesome. And she's going to teach you how to do this one thing, and immediately it was just like it sounded like she was yelling down a hallway, and the microphone was 100 feet from her. And I was just like, oh, you have such good visuals and you have good content, but your audio sucks so bad. And like, all you gotta do is just get a cheap mic and get it close to you, and like immediately your channel just sounds and looks better. Audio, having good video with bad audio versus having good audio with bad video, I'm taking the one with audio because usually your brain is going to process like the video quality. It's
Right,
you
you're
don't
gonna think way too much. You're like, you can see a terrible audio or a video quality, like you can still get it, but if you can't even understand or it's hard to hear, your brain kind of shuts off
yeah,
or has to think too much more. So
where it's
yeah,
like high pitched and no low end and it sounds reverby. Like that stuff just like nail your audio and your videos will start doing better. First off, but so yeah, I would say focus on that's what I'm gonna do next year is focus on my thumbnails.
thumbnails, consistency, thumbnails. All right,
Creativity. I really want to do a thing, and this is why I said I don't really care about weekly video uploads. Is I want to start putting more storyline into my videos, even if it's a product review. I really, really like what like Josh Yo does with making something more than a tech review, but like reviewing the product by using it and like making. I mean, his are ridiculous. Let's face it. He's making stuff that looks like it should be on Netflix, but
right.
even like Lindgren, like with Rivals and all of even his B-roll stuff. It's like I like the idea of taking something and making it like fun and cinematic and having like a little mini clip or a short and then incorporating your gear reviews into that instead. I think that's a really cool thing to do, and I want to do more of that.
That's fun. Yeah, I remember. I mean, I did it on a very small scale, but for a while there, I was every single one of my videos was like opening with some sort of a 30-second edited B-roll sequence, and it was fun to do. It took a little more time, but I don't know.
Sometimes like I do that a lot too. Or I'll upload the B-roll opening, and sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my good shots on the first bit. Our travel channel, we always did stingers, which means you would take some weird part of your video somewhere and take the first 10 seconds and put it as your intro before your like intro clip
Right.
or logo clip. And sometimes it would be like, what did I just watch? Or like, what was that? And that kind of gets your curiosity. Like I'm going to watch now. That's always a good thing to do with some videos, but I just want to start doing stuff that's more like, if you remember when I did the makeup thing, the makeup ZV1 channel,
Yeah.
where I came in and talked to myself and I put myself in the scene twice, just like doing little skits like that. Or like when we did the thing where it was snowing outside and I didn't like the snow and I touched the camera and then I came back, we were in Mexico, and things that are more fun that immediately make it more fun to watch your videos, not just like sit down and learn about something. Or
The lawnmower one, that was great.
yeah, that video, I don't even remember. Oh, it was on trying to get the film back from that thrift store
Yes.
camera.
Yeah.
That video, like no one watched that video. If you guys are watching this, go check that out on my channel. It's a funny video. Really, I didn't have much there. I just had some stuff that I wanted to do in a video, and I was like, this is going to be the video I'm doing it in, because like doing a whole video on developing film from a vintage camera that you found at a thrift store, you don't have a lot there. So I was like, I'm going to have 3 weeks to wait for this footage to come back. I might as well make some kind of montage on what I'm going to be doing while I'm waiting. Plus, I wanted, like, on the way to go deliver the film, I was like, well, I'm going to film some drone footage of me driving around, driving into the camera place I brought the film to, and which, according, if you watch the video, it looks like I drove all the way to National Camera Exchange. Really, that's just down the street from my house. I didn't even leave my neighborhood with the drone footage, but, and like National Camera is like 30 miles from my house. So power of editing.
Power of editing.
And if you're also watching that video too, I think I did a tracking plugin, the Pixel Film Studio tracking plugin. I made a Photoshop of a Minnesota license plate that said subscribe, and I put it over my plates. And that was one way to like hide my license plates on my car. But I thought it was a really funny, like, instead of putting the little logo up on the screen that said subscribe, I was like, I'm going to put it on my license plate. People, you should notice it. Hopefully now people don't think I'm some like a-hole that puts subscribe on my license plate, like vanity plates, because that would be kind of, I mean, it'd be too many letters anyways, but I just thought it was kind of funny, and it was a good way to hide the thing. I was actually going to do a video on how I did that, but no one watched the video to begin with, so I was like, well, no one saw it. So that's the thing, is sometimes the videos you really want and are really fun that you really want people to see, they're just sometimes not going to get watched. So,
well, maybe if you did a tutorial on how to do that, and you can say, oh, if you want to see how that in action, go watch this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's where you reuse your footage and then say, all right, let's break down how we did this. And
well, I know, but you reuse your footage. And
I think I need to do a collab with Emilio on that one. What do you think? He'd probably be good at it. He's way better at those Final Cut tutorials than I am. So
yeah, I mean, you're good. You're good. You're good.
But yeah, I don't know. Just keep doing what we're doing, having fun, and that's what I want to do with YouTube this year. And that's the thing you should always have, and you should always have fun doing what you're doing. And the fun part is also you just end up meeting a lot of people, and generally it happens. This, as you grow your channel, you're going to get people contacting you or you contacting other people. And the funnest thing about YouTube is all the people you follow and have been following for years, when randomly they start following you. That's fun.
Yes.
And not by any reason, for any necessarily big reason, but it's always fun when all of a sudden you're just like, oh, blah, 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 just commented on my video. And I'm definitely going to pin that to the top. Or I just noticed like some people started following me on Instagram the other day, and I was like, that's cool. Like
Eddie Nunez. Yes, I remember I did upgrade. I Rode kindly sent this to me. This was the like a part of a care package that they sent me. So yes, this is a freaking humongous mic, but it does sound pretty good. They also sent me this Rode NTG5, which I'm really excited to use with this brand new K3M that I just purchased. So talking head videos should be pretty awesome. Yeah, they get the Rode NTG5 with like this like nice pistol grip, and then I got, you know, they sent me the NTG video mic too as well. So I was very happy about there. I would have been happy just to get the NTG video mic, and they sent this. I thought I was getting a pod mic for them. They sent this big honker here. It sounds really good, and then NTG5. So
It just takes up like half of your frame though.
yeah, I don't know how people do these. Like, do they like lower it and you like zoom in? I don't know. I don't know what the best way. I haven't found the best way to do this this setup here yet. But
Yeah, I mean podcast mics, those big large diaphragm condensers, they're just, there's no good hiding. There's no good way to hide them. I always try to do music videos with like our like warm audio or like our NT1A, and
there's no way, Eddie. Look, I mean, it's one thing when you have a Shure Beta 58 microphone that you could do it with, but there's this thing that would be some mad good skill, and I'm glad I couldn't do that. That would, yes, there's no way I'm, yes, yeah, I know where you're going with that comment right there. I think Kyle does too.
oh yeah, inside joke from original Dobo's stream.
Back in the day. Look, you're the new producer Paul is in the house here, Mr. Eddie Nunez.
You know what's funny, Paul, is that like what was it, like weeks ago, like a few weeks ago, we said we were going to start doing it on like Tuesday or Thursday. I don't know what happened with that, but we just kept doing Wednesdays for some reason.
Well, yeah, we never, it's like the creator camp, right? That's one of our goals definitely for this coming year, is to finally figure that whole thing out and get it done and scheduled. Yeah, we already got the logo made. We just gotta actually do the rest of the branding and nail out the actual date. This stream has kind of been, the alpha shot has been kind of like a tester. And then eventually we're going to be, rotating the stream between my channel and Kyle's channel. So
yeah, should be fun. But yeah, it's just, I obviously I don't want to like stream at the same time as Tobo's channel, since some of those people would want to watch here, and a lot of them do come in afterwards after they finish.
Yeah.
We start a little later. I know just Wednesday happened to be the day that worked for you for the longest time. It sounded like we could potentially move this thing, but which we should at some point.
I'm pretty sure we can move this thing at this point. We just had to pick a day that works. So,
although it is kind of nice when they finish that some people come over here too, because they're already on YouTube, and
right. And sometimes we get some draw over from like we had a guy earlier today from Jake Sloan's channel come in, So I don't know. It's Wednesday's a good day, but I don't know.
Creator camp sounds interesting. So for people who don't know what we're going to change this live stream into, and at some point here, is that we are inviting different creators from YouTube, or just filmmakers in general, or actors or whatever. And we're going to kind of make it like we're the camp where people can come hang out with us, and
like we're just talking around a campfire essentially with them. And we're not going to necessarily like dig it. We don't want to do the same thing that every other, YouTube channel does. Hey, so how did you get started? We kind of want to, if those questions pop up, maybe they will, I don't know, but most of our stuff, we kind of want to be more like get to know this person as a person. And
for me, it was just kind of like have it feel like we're just us 3 or 4 people, whatever people are there, and just hang out and talk about stuff. And you're going to hear stuff about YouTube, camera gear, non-YouTube. You maybe find out more about these people that you follow on YouTube that they don't normally share.
All these people that seem to be obsessed with FS1 or racing or whatever.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun way to get to know some of these creators behind the scenes, or behind what they normally want to show you. So,
and Kyle and I have actually had we've already reached out to a number of pretty decent size creators that are really interested in doing it. We just we're just like we kind of we started going around asking people, and we got a lot of guesses, but then we kind of stopped because we don't want to just keep asking when we don't have everything ready to go
Yep.
yet. So
And the other thing too is like having it be live, which is kind of fun because most of these people that do these interview or like live stream kind of podcast kind of things, they're usually pre-recorded. And there's something different about being live, which is kind of fun. And also the real fun thing about live is you're going to bring out some creators that you probably wouldn't normally get to talk to or ask questions to or whatever, because their video, comments are just too flooded with people, because some of these people have 500,000 subscribers. But if
right,
they're on
and
here and we have 100 people watching, 50 people watching, we're going to have some Q&A that you can literally reach out and ask some of these creators yourself too, which is going to be kind of a fun thing to do. I think that's going to be fun. A fun aspect of having people on, that having it be live, is that we're going to be able to like ask questions or do giveaways or whatever, like on the spot. And you can, I don't know, it's going to be fun. Hopefully we don't break any NDAs on accident, right, Paul? With creators. That's one thing we got to be careful with.
You know what? I won't break any NDAs, but if we, what would be really nice is once we get everything scheduled out and get like some of the roster lined up and the graphics lined up. I don't like to push brands, but I would love if we can get Rode to like hook you up with one of these microphones, maybe another boom arm, and maybe if we both could have Rode Procast, like Rodecaster Pros for our end, so we could have nice little professional setup here going on, and maybe we could convince Rode to like we would like put their name on the show or something.
Well, I mean, I feel like they have sponsored you already. They gave you like $5,000 worth of stuff. I use Rode products already anyways, and
I know
that's just been my go-to ever. I'm using the NCG video mic right now, and I think it's a decent sounding mic already. So but yeah, the creator camp, there's one person that we're gonna have to figure out how to do, because they live 7 hours ahead of us, and I don't know what their schedule is and where they would be streaming from, or if we would have to record that one, pre-record that one. I'm not sure, but
I don't know how they did that one. Yeah, who is it? Do I know?
I mean, yeah, follows you. You're the reason he's on Twitter, right?
Oh yeah. Of course. I was thinking that was who you're talking about, but I didn't know for sure.
So someone who already has 2 channels, has 500,000 subscribers, they're gonna need we're gonna need to be on their time, because they're not gonna be on our time for something like that.
Oh yeah.
So and they're 7 hours ahead of us, so we might have to do that's the thing, is I don't want to do a live stream at like 9 a.m. because no one's gonna watch. But
right.
So we might have to record that one. But as far as the other ones, we do have some guests lined up. We just have to make it work for them as well. So we'll have to figure out what days. We might have to not have it be on a consistent day too, depending on the guest we have. So
Sweden. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm. Yes. I was actually communicating with Peter Lindgren before he made it big. I think I was watching his channel and he was like under 1,000 subscribers, and I was like, I was always in the comments on like every single video. I never missed a video of his. So him and I built like a relationship when he was really just starting out, and when he blew up, it was still there. So I don't know.
Didn't he like follow you off of one of your videos and then something like that? Yeah, because I know he's been subscribed to you since you were like new on YouTube.
Yeah. He subscribed to me when I was small, and it was great because like I think I don't know how it worked out, but then he would message me and say he'd watch a video of mine and kind of be like, hey, you should improve this, and it wasn't like a you suck, but it was more of like a, hey, if I saw that he was commenting, and I was like, hey man, if you have any tips for me, I'd be open. So occasionally he'll DM me on Instagram and be like, all right, this is you need more B-roll, or you need it's pretty cool. So yeah, awesome dude. You wouldn't know he is I don't know, he doesn't act like a big creator, but one day him and Peter McKinnon will get together.
He's very isolated in Sweden too. I think to a point where I think once pandemic is over, he'll start doing some collabs with some stuff, and not that he's going to act big, but I mean I think he's in an area where he's kind of being a solo creator, and he's doing really well at it too, which is
I mean, yeah, I mean he's doing the English when he's in Sweden, which is probably it's not easy for sure, but I think that's also the interesting part about his like vlogs and everything. He's going out into his area. Nobody really speaks English. I mean, some people will speak some English, but for the most part, he's going out and they're all speaking Swedish, and so he's bringing his audience, which is probably mostly English-based audience, into his suite. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's almost like Sweden is a part of his, like New York was a part of Casey's life. I can't. Sweden is like a part of his. So I don't know. I think it's really cool, and it's really neat to see how he's using that storytelling.
And I will bring that back to like tips on YouTube. Sometimes you forget where you are and where you live. Like to me, Minnesota kind of gets boring, and I see all these creators. I'm like, I want to be at Banff, or I want to be in Colorado, or I want to be in Florida or something. But then like when you're those other people, they're like, oh, I want to go to Grand Canyon. I want to be in New York, and I want to be in. You just forget that like you get so used to your own environment that it's boring to you. But you have to remember that like you as a person will get associated with that town, like Peter Lindgren is with Sweden, or like Casey is with New York, or like Donna is with Edmonton, or like McKinnon is with Toronto. And like it becomes a thing that people want to see in your videos, because it's, you're from Florida, you don't see snow or like the winter wonderland that we get here. I hate this crap outside my window right now. I mean, right now it melted, but we had like 18 inches of snow last week.
Dang.
And it was ridiculous. It was crazy. I had to go snowblow twice in a row in the morning. And like I hate snow because I have to deal with it all the time, and it's not just pretty. It's annoying and messy. And I got stuck in my neighborhood. I had to plow myself out, and had 4 neighbors push my car out of the neighborhood. But for you, it's like, oh man, that's so awesome. I wish we had snow. Like maybe I don't wish we had snow, but like I want to go there. And
right.
And it's just like you forget that your environment is enjoyable for other people on YouTube. So like take advantage of what you have in your area and showcase it, because other people in the world don't have that and they want to see that. So that's one tip.
The biggest takeaway at the end of the day is you got to remember to be you on the camera, because nobody else can be you. So nobody else can copy you. And nobody else can have that your same lifestyle that you're in. I don't know how to explain. Like nobody can be in the same town as you with this your personality. So like everything about you when you're on YouTube, you just gotta be you and own it and be happy with it, and people will find you and connect with you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Like get your inspiration from channels, but don't try to be Peter McKinnon or Matty Apoya, because if you are, people see that and they don't want to watch you because you're just a knockoff at that point. So now if you want to have the charisma that someone like Peter McKinnon has, that's awesome. Just, like be inspired, but don't copy. And I was going to make a video a while ago, Paul, that I wanted to do really bad. That was called Becoming Your Favorite YouTuber.
Ooh, this sounds fun.
And I was going to like use a lot of like footage of people's studios and like green screens and like, costumes not costumes, but clothing that would like represent it. Like all of a sudden you're wearing a denim blue shirt and you're Josh Yo riding around on a one wheel. Like I wanted to do kind of a video about that, and then have it all end with kind of like, be you, don't be these other people. But never got around to it. Maybe we'll do that still.
If Eddie Nunez really wants to be Paul so bad, go out there and get rid of all your Canon heavy garbagey crap and jump on Team Sony, bro, because that is where it's at if you want to be Paul Feinberg.
and then
LOL.
sell all your drones and buy all the Back to the Future videos you can get and watch
Go out
them.
and buy a freaking DeLorean, and then I will be jealous of you.
Paul, next time you're up here too, we have to get you over to my buddy's house and
I know.
check out his DeLorean. I still got
know.
to go. I've been meaning to try to like just meet, like do some friend stuff with him lately, and every time he messaged me, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm in Colorado. Or now it's like, ooh, I got Christmas. And
copy that, but he did the Peter. He copied Peter. He didn't really copy Peter McKinnon. He just kind of made fun of him, but in a non-serious way, and it was hilarious. He blew up like crazy after that video.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
he leaned into it even more.
I wouldn't say he copied him. He definitely mocked him, and he's got some mannerisms that he did, like a mimic thing that, what is it, on Peter McKinnon video or whatever.
Yeah.
But
On the new Peter
he's
McKinnon.
so different though than McKinnon. He wears his little turtlenecks and he's got
Hey,
his
and
other
now he's
characters.
selling
and,
them.
yeah.
He's selling a freaking turtleneck, like
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
that's fun. That's the kind of stuff that's fun where you can, like, I don't know if you ever watched what's the channel with like the twins and the other guy, or the triplets? It's like TMS or something like that. God, what is that channel called? Let me look it up. They did this really funny video about like becoming Peter McKinnon or something like that, and then they did one on Casey Neistat.
And while you're looking that up, Eddie Nunez. On top of that, I will say, I mean, you're the new producer, so you're following in my footsteps. You are the new Paul, but you're the new and revised Paul. You're the Paul that knows more about drone gear, knows more about what you're talking about than I did. I was just like falling asleep on the set sometimes, as you kindly made fun of me so much in the chat. But no, I'm just teasing it. It was fun times. Maybe I'll jump in one night and just surprise everyone again, and maybe I'll have to use the sure mic just for just a nice little special there.
Well, keep in mind too, Paul, like if he's just finishing up a live stream on Wednesday nights and we're still rolling, like, you're more than welcome to jump on ours too.
Links available. That's for sure.
I think I found this video here. It is TMS Productions. It's a funny channel. There are these three guys that are like, they all have different either film backgrounds or something. I'm not really sure. But they do a lot of tutorials on how to do stuff. I'm going to post the thing in here. This video is really funny though. Can you play the video from here and then like share it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I posted it in there anyways.
If you could, it could get like,
yeah, we could probably get some copyright
or
stuff. Yeah.
Well,
I posted the link in there. They have this really funny video on like the one dude dresses up in here. I could maybe like showcase the screen though, right?
You could showcase the screen, yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Hold on. How do I do that on real
screen share?
Okay, am I sharing the screen here?
Yep.
Okay, so this video right here, it's Peter McKinnon on a budget. It's a hilarious video about, they basically rip McKinnon and all his mannerisms and his style, and it's kind of like in the long run, it's talking about like basically being your own creator. But my favorite part is that like McKinnon himself like commented on this video like he knew he got burned, and he's like, "Yep, I love this video." Super funny. And then they did one on Casey Neistat and I think Sam Calder as well. But that's different. That's not like copying someone to get famous. That's mocking someone, if anything, or like parodying them to make a funny video. But if you guys have time to watch that video, it's hilarious.
Yeah, man. You have anything else to close us out tonight? I think we kind of went over a lot of broad stuff here. Kind of small numbers in the chat, so I guess we'll maybe have some people that rewatch this later. But for the most part, man, you just got to go out there and do it. And you can subscribe to both Kyle and I. We're open to you can DM us, ask us questions. We're we're pretty open guys. So and it's not like we have this whole thing figured out. I mean, we're, you know, still under 10K, under 5K. You know, we're still trying to grow this thing ourselves, but we've been doing it long enough to kind of know. It's almost like when you do it long enough, you know what you have to do to get it to grow. You just gotta put in the time and work to do it. So I know what I gotta do. I know what goals I have for this year. I know what I need to do, and I just needed to do it, and I know what I need to get better at. So and it's just, you know, so not like I'm the pro at it and I have look at my channel, how big it is. You guys gotta listen to what I have to say, but it's more of I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I know what I need to do to get there. I just haven't done it yet. So
Yep.
It's how much grind you want to put in there.
That's 100% true.
And 2022, I mean, people say that is it worth it to start a YouTube channel in 2022 or every year? This always comes up, and I'd say it's YouTube just keeps growing, and if you're you and your own personality, there'll be plenty of room for you. And I think all the creator community is amazing. Everybody is pretty much building each other up and encouraging each other in it. So there's always room for people, and people are always looking for more creators to watch. So I think there's plenty of room here. So
yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of fun collaborations in the next like year or two. You know, COVID pending, but once traveling is more open, you're going to have a lot of people who are just like need that collaboration finally. So
people are already starting to need that. You can see it. Yeah, Sydney doing all these coffee meetups now. Jake Sloan's talking about meeting up, and everybody's got this itch to meet each other, which is cool because I don't know, that's one of the things I love about the creator community. Everybody's wanting to shoot with somebody. You know, there's not somebody reached out to me in the comments, says, "Man, I'd love to shoot with you. You live in Orlando?" I'm like, "Heck yes, I'm down. If I can figure it out in my schedule to make it work, let's do it." You know, so I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. You have anything else to add, bro?
Nope, I just got to go get a video finished here so I can post it at some point. At this point, I feel like I might as well just wait until Christmas is over because
who's going to watch on Christmas?
I don't know. My video is going to tank probably if I put it out at the wrong time. So I'm not too concerned. A lot of people are taking breaks right now from YouTube as it is anyways for the next couple weeks or week. So is what it is. Yep. But yeah, come back strong 2021. If you guys are starting a channel, just
2022.
I would say have a plan and then start. Don't just start. I always love when Think Media and even like Jared, like just start. It's like, yes, just start, but also have a little bit of a plan so you know what you're doing a little bit. But
hey,
yeah,
just start. Make one. If it's really terrible, then you gotta just make the next one a little bit better each time.
You learn from every video, and you should watch how your videos continue to get better every week. So hopefully. Like me. Maybe it's not every week, but maybe you'll notice a progression from week to week to week to week, for sure.
Yeah, eventually I'll be making good content, but until then, I'll see you guys in the future.
Later.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go. One shot for the kill, the breeze come freeze up, straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares of all break sky high. Check the movement is here, yeah. It's one hard punch